Welcome, WolfTheWolfettes, to Seasons, A Letter to the Future on the PlayStation 5. And I hope you guys and girls are having an absolutely fantastic day. Now, in the previous video, we found out that our friend Pate had a dream, and when he told that dream to the elder mentioned that it was going to be the starting of the changing of the season, some sort of cataclysm. So we've now decided that we want to leave our beautiful little mountain hometown so that we can document the world and then leave it for the future so they know everything that happened before this changing of the season. So in the previous video we had to spend a bit of time doing a ritual with our mum so that we could create this magical pendant that we are wearing round our neck that will protect our mind, and that was the condition for our mother allowing us to leave. So we've picked several different items for smell, taste, touch and all that good stuff, and we've created a pendant from memories that we enjoy. Unfortunately, every memory that we placed into the necklace our mother forgot, so yeah, it was not very nice, but we've now got this beautiful pendant that will hopefully keep our minds sane, and we are now heading off on our adventure. So I think first things first, we have to document all of the stuff that is happening in our own hometown, and then we're going to jump on our bike and we're going to head out into the big wide world. So we've got a bit of exploring to still do in our mountain village so we can start filling up our journal and telling people about where we come from and stuff like that. But we've got an audio recorder.
Last night there was a goodbye party here in the plaza. Everyone was so afraid for me. To understand that fear, to understand where I grew up, you have to know the man standing watch over the plaza. Dr. Fumio.
Dr. Fumio.
This is Dr. Fumio and his son. The statue isn't as old as it looks. The artist wore it down to give it a feeling of ancientness and the authority that comes with it. Dr. Fumio and his son founded Caro back in 776. They live on through our traditions.
Lovely. So as you can see, we've got a bunch of things to find in this area. I think this is more like a tutorial, this kind of bit, showing you these are like the kinds of things you need to find and stick them in your book. Because normally I don't think there's anything on the pages. You just fill it up with your own stuff and you find things yourself. It doesn't really show you what you need to find. Okay. I mean, if everybody...
Murals celebrating Dr. Fumio's work.
Okay, we'll go find them then. If they threw a big party for the, like this for you, I mean, they obviously care about you, so at least you can remember that when you're on your journeys. Well, you don't need to change the pace yet. Leave us alone. I better do it to get rid of the tutorial. There we go. You just press R1 to switch between running or jogging and walking.
A wish fell off the tree. I'm not supposed to read them, but it might be good for you to have an example of one.
Which means you are going to take it and read it. I hope she comes back and tells everyone it's safe to leave. Obviously that's a wish about her then. I wonder if our mum put that there. I wonder why everybody's afraid to leave this place. I mean, we are on a mountain and we are up high, so we are pretty safe here. Huh. I've not finished this game off camera, so I don't actually know. I'm sure I'll find out off camera before I finish this playthrough, but I won't tell you anyway. I'm not going to spoil it.
I can go against tradition a little for posterity.
Lovely. Yeah, just taking someone's wish and sticking it inside your book.
This is the cafe where my dad used to read his poems. He wrote one for me. Maybe he wrote it for you too. Pate's little daydream of leaving this place, of seeing something weird.
Oh, there's plenty of weird things in the modern world. Don't worry about that. There's plenty of weird things. Especially modern art, mate. That's very weird.
Dr. Fumio said the dream sickness was caused by something very powerful. He wasn't able to cure it.
Now, what is the trick? Oh, look, hopscotch. Oh, no, it's not hopscotch. I thought it was hopscotch. Or maybe it's their form of hopscotch. Guessing Pate drew that as well. Man, bloody Pate's a flipping graffiti artist. He's going to end up in jail, he is. He starts doing that in the modern world, mate. He's going to go to jail. Do you guys and girls ever play a game on the PS2 called, I think it's called Mark Gecko's Getting Up? And you play as a character that just does graffiti. I flipping love that game. That's what I did for my coursework at in secondary school for graphics. I was basically developing my very own video game, and it was Mark Echo's Getting Up #2, which obviously never released and don't exist. So I made the sequel for it. I did very well in my coursework. I got like a B in my coursework. Just unfortunately, when I did the main exams because of the operation on my eye, I did so poorly because I was seeing double and having to draw things. I couldn't draw properly, couldn't do things properly, and then yeah, obviously, yeah, my score went down to like a D or some shit. I would have easily have had a B, a very high C or a B easily, but you know, it is what it is. No point talking about that.
Remembering everything must be painful. Dr. Fumio brought peace to so many people here.
Remembering everything is very painful. Especially when you've got a very, very good memory. But because we're taking pictures of these things, if you come onto the journal, you can, as you can see, we need to find an instrument designed by Dr. Fumio, but we can come onto our keepsakes and we can place these here as well. But this is more like a tutorial showing you what you're going to be doing in the world. Because like I said, I don't think these normally appear in the journal. It's normally just blank pages with some writing, and you've got to fill it in with your own memories. Like how this one looks right here. These ones, this is Caro Village. You could put random stuff in this bit. It's like this one you'll fill in on your own. But these are just random things that are not relevant to the mission. And also you can click on these pictures and play them as well. So if you just press triangle. See? I don't know what kind of ink you're using, but you sure as hell got some fancy ink to make these pictures play when you touch them. Imagine if you could actually do that in a book, draw something. I know they've got those books for kids where you open the pages or you press a button on the book and it plays a tune. But I mean like actual ink where you could draw like something and actually just touch the pencil marks and the lead and it would play something. That'd be well cool, wouldn't it? Obviously that would never happen, but that'd be pretty cool if it did. I like your little badge collection on your bag. It's very nice.
Pate loves fish, even though nobody here has ever seen one.
Lovely. I like fish as well. I like a bit of fishing. I like pet fish. I love fish. I also like eating fish. Not anymore, but I do like eating fish. Now, what a beautiful game, ain't it? So peaceful and stunning.
The elder sought out Dr. Fumio to cure her mother, who was suffering from time misperception.
Time? What's that? So she doesn't know what time it is? God, that would be horrible. Okay, let's put a few more things in our book. Oh, we need to take a picture of that as well. That's over near the cliffs. Lovely. I'm going to make sure I keep. I don't know if it tells you to fill in the journal. I don't think like you have to, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's basically the point of this game to fill in the journal for the future people to see. So I'll make sure I do it, but I don't think you even have to. I think you just ignore it and just interact with stuff. Well, what's that? Smell. What is it?
Smells like an old man's toes dipped in cinnamon. I had to drink this gross potion last night. Like my pendant, it's supposed to protect my brain.
I'm more concerned that you know what an old man's toe tastes like, smells like. What have you been up to in your spare time, dear?
This is a healing instrument created by Dr. Fumio. It draws on the pure mountain air.
Man, can you imagine that? Just putting a little deck chair right there, looking out over the horizon, enjoying the mountains, being so high up in the sky, you're basically at the level of the clouds, looking at the sun, listening to this top-notch tune. Oh yes, that right there, that will make you feel better, WolfTheWolf. That's what will make you feel better. This is why I really liked when I went to Grasmere in the Lake District. That's probably the calmest my mind has ever been in my entire life. It was so calming. There was lots of things that was going on during that time that was making me just feel a hell of a lot better. Some things were making me feel worse. There was a few things I was worrying about, because that's around the time when my ex was going to be moving in with me, and I had like just worries about it, and obviously my worries were very accurate because look how it fucking turned out. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was just going well. The fact that she was moving in when we finally, so no more long distance bullshit with the trains and all that, and the money on the train tickets, and worrying about not having enough money, you know, being in an area that's just stunning. There was loads of things, you know. Not having to worry about YouTube, because at that point I think I'd temporarily quit YouTube. Oh man, it was so peaceful. And there was nobody there in Grasmere in the Lake District. It was empty, and all you could hear was random goats in the evening. That was it, just random goats coughing. Oh man, I'll have to go back there one day on my own.
Dr. Fumio was an important person, but we also just have a need to put a human face on events that are beyond our control. He may have felt just as scared and helpless as everyone else.
Yeah. But that does put a lot of pressure on one person sometimes, where they're the one that everybody's relying on to be strong. It's not good for that one person. Lovely. We need to find probably one more random thing in Caro Village, and then we can finish up that page as well. It's probably just a trophy for doing it, but like I said, I don't know if you have to do it. Looks like you might be Jesus, because I don't think your feet are actually connecting with the steps. No, I think you might be Jesus. You're floating, dear. I have to call her dear because I don't know her name. You guys and girls have probably already told me some names for her in part 1, but I'm recording this straight after part 1, so I've not even uploaded part 1 yet at the time of recording. I'm recording this on the 1st of February, part 1 too. Oh, look at that. See, sometimes it doesn't tell you if you can like actually do anything, but sometimes I think if you just take pictures of things, you actually do get like a memory. If she doesn't comment, then you took a picture of something that's not really relevant, but you can still use it for your book if you want to. Just pictures you want to take for fun.
I go fishing here with my best friend Pate, even though there's nothing to catch. We both appreciate the silence.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few lakes I used to go fishing at, and I always knew that I wasn't going to catch nothing because the lakes were like just random, like wild lakes. They weren't like proper fishing lakes where the fish were monitored and fed and raised to be there so that you can catch fish. They were like random, just wild ones. So you don't even know if there's any fish in the wild lakes. And we used to go, and I think we went probably a good 10 times to this random tiny lake, and it was full of lilies as well, so lily pads, so there was only a small area you could cast to, and if you missed it then you got hooked onto a lily pad and then you lost all of your float and your hook. But this one little gap in the water, and we went like 10 times, and I think I finally caught one fish there, and it was a little tench. There's a picture of me somewhere. I think it's a physical picture like I was talking about in the previous video, and because you can't delete them or lose them, because I've lost many memories now thanks to somebody deleting them all. But these physical memories I've still got. So yeah, I'll try and show you it. But I think I'm wearing a Spider-Man top in the picture and fucking sunglasses for some reason. It is sunny, but I don't even know why I'm wearing these specific sunglasses.
Caro Village was founded during the modernity. Much later, Dr. Fumio arrived and remade it in his image.
Modernity is where you forget about the white, like the old ways, and make things a bit more modern, ain't it? Where you just change things. I think it could be many different things, from technology to the ways of living, to values and stuff like that. Like obviously the modernity that we have nowadays is awful. The way the world is changing right now is pathetic. The modernity that we're experiencing from like probably 2015 onwards has been vile. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to press the touchpad. There we go.
A village that was created as a place to heal. Is that where my instinct to try to help comes from? It's so strange to imagine I'll be shaped by places and people I haven't met yet. So strange to imagine that I might feel at home somewhere else.
Oh, I better quickly have a look at the keepsake things. So these are all the nice little stamps we've got, and these are all the dialogues that we heard. Just fill in that little gap there. Lovely. I wonder if you could, like, if they're going to like show you your entire book when you get to the end of the game, your entire journal. That'd be nice. Do we pick one or are we going to get in trouble? Let's pick it.
This flower means you're in my thoughts. The morning after the search was called off for Dad, our doorstep was covered in them.
Well, that's sad. So what happened to your dad? I don't think they've actually said what happened to her dad. I guess that's something you're going to find out as you play through the game, maybe. What's with the hands? Those are some big ass glasses.
Is it recording?
Yes.
Okay. How to leave home for my daughter. Find a sacred square of earth. Lay down so you have the dirt at your back. Close your eyes. Close everything. Do you see for yourself? You see for the dead, for the unborn. Do you listen for yourself? You listen for the dead, for the unborn. Your ancestors are in that dirt. All the living and all the dead are holding you up. Now, stand. They're still there, aren't they? It's time to move, to entangle yourself everywhere with everyone. So the next time you lay down in the dirt, you will have so much more to tell them.
That's a nice way of looking at the grand, ain't it? That's a very nice way of thinking of it. Obviously your ancestors probably ain't below you right now. I mean, there are dead things below you, probably animals and insects and bugs, but unless you're in a graveyard, well, I suppose even then there might be some humans below you, but it doesn't mean they're your ancestors. It could just be people that have died in some like battle years ago, or some sort of caveman or something could be buried down there. Who knows, you know? So there is humans below you possibly, but I wouldn't say it's always your ancestors, unless you're in a graveyard, of course. But it's a nice way of looking at the grand, just knowing that there's all the people that came before you beneath your feet. And then you lay down and you can tell them a few stories. Imagine if they could hear your stories as well. Then you've got a couple of zombies beneath your feet. That's what you've got, mate. Looking at her bag, I kind of want to like put my pins on something, because over the years I've got random pins from like collector's editions and stuff. So I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should get like some sort of blanket or something, or some sort of bag that I can attach them all to. And then I could show it on YouTube, and then we can keep updating it as we get more pins. I think that'd be pretty cool. I've definitely got some for Days Gone, and I've got some for Crash Team Racing and the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, that is. I think I might have some more as well. Maybe some from Destiny, which I don't even know where I got them from. Oh, here we go. Here's our bike. Hey, you better let me pick the colour. You better not grab the pink bike. I want the blue one. Preferably, actually. Is there a green? Oh, is that green or yellow? Oh, that better be green. If it's green, we're picking the green one, of course.
These bikes were used by messengers a long, long time ago.
So people used to bring messages to this little mountain village. So you have had some sort of contact with the outside world then.
Pate fixed up 3 bikes instead of 1.
Show off. Take a bike and leave Caro. Yes. Oh, it is yellow. Okay, we're going to go with blue then. Yeah, we'll go with blue. Let me know what colour you would have picked in the comments. Chunky Lappy, you don't need to tell me. I already know you picked blue. If you have a bit of a rough time pedaling this bike, because you have to press R2 and L2, like actually pedaling the bike with L2 and R2. But I think if you go on the settings, I think you can change it and just make it easier, where you just hold one button maybe. If you get frustrated with the pedaling for some reason, which I don't think you will. It's not hard to do, but you know, if you want to just make it a bit more easier, I guess. But this is how we're going to make our way around the world in this game with our bike. And you can get off your bike whenever you want. So if you see anything... Oh, that is beautiful. It's all got a bit of a Legend of Zelda art style, ain't it? The newest one. Oh, what was it? Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's got a bit of art style like that, innit? If you're watching this video on Macabre Gamer, let me know in the comments if you finished Breath of the Wild. Because I know you were playing it, but I don't know if you ever finished it. If you haven't finished it, get busy. You can't half play a game. You've got to play it until you've finished it or platinumed it. That's the rules. Oh yeah, look at that. Big letters telling me the title of the game that I keep forgetting. Season, a letter to the future. I need to keep that in my head. But yeah, like I said, you can get off at any time. So if you see anything cool you want to take a picture of, it doesn't even have to be something that you think like might be relevant to the story of the game. Just take a picture of it if you like it, and she keeps it. Then you can pull it in your journal, or just look at it. Like, oh bloody hell, mate! She did an endo. Like right now, I don't know if we could take a picture of this or if it's going to be useful, but. Yeah, see, she said nothing, so there's no reason to take a picture of it, but that doesn't mean you can't take a picture of it. You still can, because it's beautiful. Oh, bumped into a couple of rocks.
Most of what I've seen from the outside world probably arrived in a cart like this.
Nice. I mean, it's looking a little bit rough over there, though. Don't think you're going to be getting many deliveries now. This must be what Royal Mail looks like, because they don't seem to want to deliver my stuff on time, even when they're not striking. I'll tell you what, Royal Mail, I've always been on your team. I've always been on Royal Mail's team. And if you want proof, watch my playthrough of House Flipper, where I'm defending Royal Mail during the second lockdown that we had, where everybody had to stay in 2021. And I was defending Royal Mail because the amount of abuse people were giving them online. But now, I'm starting to go onto the abuse side. The amount of shit that you don't deliver to me or that you keep losing, starting to piss me off, Royal Mail. Sort your shit out. And when you're striking all the time as well, so I know things are not going to arrive because of your strikes, and then you proceed to still do it wrong when you're at work, that's when it really pisses me off. The amount of presents that didn't arrive on time over Christmas, and it was all for my sister as well, so it annoyed the fuck out of me. And it wasn't even like I ordered them very close to Christmas. I ordered them in November. One of them did come from America, and it did get stuck at Heathrow for a bit, so I won't blame Royal Mail for that. But the other stuff that I ordered, one came from Waterstones. That took forever to come. And Waterstones, I'm pretty sure, is an English bookstore. And what was the other place? Oh, no, I think the other one... No, there was another one as well. But the Waterstones one, that one's sort of what annoyed me the most. Because that was a replacement for the Heathrow stuck present. Oh, no, postcards. Yep. We shall sure as hell keep these. I mean, what a perfect thing to put in a journal that's going to tell people about the world and where you come from. It's a perfect kind of thing to put in there, because people are going to write stuff on the back about their lives and what they're doing or where they've gone on holiday to. Do any of you guys and girls even send postcards anymore? Like when I was a kid, we used to get postcards pretty regularly from like nans and granddads, aunts and uncles and stuff like that. But nowadays, I don't think we bother with postcards, do we? Because obviously you've got online. You just,
I can see in these letters that the outside world has extremes of beauty and tragedy beyond anything I've known.
But nowadays we just like post it on like Instagram or Facebook, all of our holiday snaps, and we don't send postcards. So I'm saying that's why I miss. Oh look, the path out of Caro. We've got a new page to fill in. Oh, they also added this bit as well with her dad. How to leave home for my daughter. Because I don't think her dad ever left home, but he wanted to. So how do you know how to leave home then? Or did he leave home? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I've missed something. I do like these postcards. Oh no, we don't want to put that one on there. This one though, yes, we'll put this one on there. Man, we've already nearly maxed this bit out. Very nice. Open letter. Well, it doesn't look like it's ever going to reach its... Oh, it's not even got a bloody address on it. Well, it's never going to reach the recipient, is it? Oh, look at that fancy writing. That is nice. Dear Estelle? Dear Estelle, I'll be surprised if this letter reaches you. The war has become like a deranged sleeper thrashing in bed, eyes closed tight. I've noticed how the soldiers strip people of their clothes first. A smaller degradation, which permits everything that follows. I wish I had loved you more completely when the world allowed it. Something Odell. Apologies, their flipping writing is very dodgy.
They were right. The letter never made it. The season before this one, the war, seems so horrible.
They bloody did. Apparently somebody was getting him to take his clothes off. Dear Cornelius? Maybe? Dear Cornelius, I have thought it over and I have to tell you, the name you picked for our baby, it is terrible. Please do not go forward with it. I pray this letter reaches you in time. Yours, Dario.
That poor baby.
Well, you don't know. The name might not have been that bad. He might just not have liked it. How do they know where these letters are going? Please get this letter to Dr. Fumio. I am suffering from memory excess, but cannot travel to the village for treatment. I was praying you could instruct me by mail how to cure myself of this disease. I am unable to forget. Now I realise how important it is to gain open space in the mind. Tell me what to do. Tell me how to forget. Please get this letter to Dr. Fumio. Man, I like how he says that. From memory excess. That's a good way of just describing your mind having just too much shit going around inside of it. I've got memory excess every fucking day, BwolfTheWolf, I'll tell you.
Before setting up in Caro Village, Dr. Fumio roamed the land curing people. It must have been hard when he wasn't around anymore, especially for people who couldn't travel to the village.
Tell you what, I've got a boil right on the tip of my nose, and I think it's like grown into my nose, and it's driving me insane. Anytime I touch my nose, it's like someone just punched me in the nose. Stings like hell. Oh, somebody ordered some herbal tea. Oh no, they exported herbal tea for some fabric, and they exported some dried flowers for some, I think that's roots. Lovely. Don't know why you're giving away tea though, you psychopath.
Traders used to come to the outskirts of the village. The war put an end to this.
So is the war going to be relevant for anything? I kind of feel like it will be. Oh yeah, we'll do a sketch. Very nice. What is that in the distance? Looks like the thing we have to climb up at the start of Horizon Forbidden West. It's just a bunch of cranes, ain't it? It's not an oil rig. It's just a bunch of cranes, ain't it? Yeah, I think it's just a bunch of cranes. What's all that for then? Probably just planning on building a bunch of stuff. Anytime they see anything green, any wide open spaces, the first thing they want to do is put houses on it. All the bloody time. Alright, let's jump back on the bike then. Tell you what, it's got to be fun as hell riding the bike down the mountain, but imagine when you got to return home. Imagine having to ride your bike up this. You're going to have to pull it in like gear 1 or 2 and just pedal like an absolute madman. Oh man, I do miss riding my bike. Can't remember the last time I rode a bicycle. It's been a long time now. I used to ride every single day. Probably did about 25-ish miles every day on my bike, just from my paper round, riding to school, riding to my mates, riding home from school, riding back to my mates, then riding to wherever we were going to go for the day after school. But it's about 25 miles every day, and obviously my paper round was every day. There was no days off. So yeah, just constant riding. The relationship with my bike, it was basically like it become part of me. I spent bloody more time on my bike than I spent on my feet, it felt like. I do miss my bike. Might have to get another bike. I'm tempted to get one of those expensive ones that cost like $1,000 or $2,000. Where you can have like an electric motor inside of them, so you can ride them, but you can also use the motor if you just want to, relax. I feel like getting something like that, but they're just so expensive, And I know I wouldn't really use the electric motor very often anyway. I'd most likely just ride it all the time.
I heard at some point the tides got less predictable. Places flooded that never had before.
I wonder if that's the changing of the season. Maybe that's the cataclysm. a flood. Because that makes sense why we're safe on the mountain, why no one wants to leave the mountain, because, you know, you're pretty damn safe on the mountain if the world floods. That was my greatest fear. Because at the moment you've got things like Antarctica melting. I don't think it matters if the North Pole and South Pole melt, because I think they are blocks of ice floating in the ocean. So if they melt, they're just going to fill in their own space. So you ain't got to worry about the world flooding. Obviously, you know, polar bears and penguins, you've got to worry about them losing their homes. But in terms of our safety, we'd be alright. It's if Antarctica or, I think, Greenland, places like that melt because it's ice on top of land. So it adds to the ocean when it melts and then increases water levels and then obviously floods us. So that's my biggest fear by far. I can't deal with the world flooding. I hope that don't happen in my life. Sea land transportation industries.
A crane to move materials around. The things that used to be possible.
Oh, so, yeah, so that's probably what happens then. Oh yeah, because they're bringing deliveries to this mountain village. They're probably arriving on boats, and then the cranes take the cargo off the boats, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, makes sense. So it's more like a dock, more like a shipyard. Is that a frog? Man, I got hawk eyes. Is it a goat? Is that a goat or a dog?
I forgot what I was going to say.
Here's a cute little frog ribbiting on a small little rock next to 3 lily pads and a flower. There you go. I did your commentary for you. Need to get yourself a YouTube channel. You'll be able to commentate for years. Got no bloody choice. You have to learn. Oh, it is a goat. If we can't stroke the goat, I'm quitting the game. I'm telling you that right now. I think I just rode past these off camera. Yeah, off camera, I just went straight past these. I don't think I even got off the bike. I'm sorry, goats. Yes! Yes.
My first time petting an animal. I think it went pretty well.
How is this your first time petting an animal, you psychopath? Have they not got no pets up in the mountains?
That time it felt off. I guess I had beginner's luck before.
What?
Okay, now I got it back. I'm in control. I can easily pet certain 4-legged animals.
Why are you talking like that? Why is she talking like that? Should we try and stroke one of the others? There you go, buddy. I don't want you to feel left out. Nah, we don't want you to feel left out, you little cutie. How about you, Bob? How about you? Oh, look at ya. You're adorable. Alright, let's hop back on the bike. Oh, actually, did I fill in the book completely? No, I didn't. I better do that first, actually.
I feel nourished in these sights by the unfamiliarity of it all. These means of connection, long in disuse, are certainly telling me something about the world. Will they be used again in the next season?
Or maybe winter's coming or something. Or maybe we're in winter right now. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to start trying to think. Where's that letter? Yeah, we'll put this one here. I feel like this one's a good one to have in the book. Lovely. Okay, I'm supposed to end the video now, but I don't know if I've got a save spot or whatever, so I'm gonna I'm going to end it here and hope. How long have I been recording? Yeah, it's been about 40 minutes. Okay. But this video, I should have said this in part 1, I'm probably going to be... This video's probably... this game's going to be uploaded every other day until... what's it called? Let's Build a Zoo ends. And then I'll probably just upload this every day, as well as Hogwarts Legacy. So there'll probably be 2 videos for a day. And both of them will probably be 40 minutes as well. Hogwarts Legacy will definitely be a 40-minute plus video, because that's going to be another huge playthrough like God of War. I think the story mode is about the same length as God of War Ragnarok. And I think there's like 100 side missions or something. So Hogwarts Legacy is probably going to be up there with like my Horizon Forbidden West playthrough. So yeah, I'll probably be... there's lots of stuff coming to the channel soon, WolfMoreVets. My channel members know, and my Patreons, because I would have already let them know by the time you see this video. But anyway, thanks for watching, WolfMoreVets. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, share, and join the pack today.